In the 1960s and 70s, car enthusiasts witnessed many incredible engines. Muscle cars exploded onto the American market, as well as in Europe. These V8-powered beasts appeared on the big screen, in advertisements, and quickly became collector's items. What made them so appealing? Was it the raw power or the classic feel when they first hit the road? Let's explore a list of 5 iconic muscle cars that changed the automotive industry forever. 5th, 1970 Plymouth GTX 440, 6-pack. The 1970 Plymouth GTX is often hailed as the gentleman's muscle car. It was the perfect blend of raw power and elegant, refined style. The powerful, balanced design with a touch of sophistication made it suitable for both dinner parties and racing. The GTX was part of Plymouth's rapid transit system of high-performance cars. No boasting, just facts, is how the GTX was introduced in factory brochures, and there's no doubt that if you could afford one, owning a GTX was a way to show that you appreciated the finer things in life. The GTX was available with the standard 440, 4-barrel carburetor as well as the 440, 6 setup, which included 3 2-barrel carburetors, and a 426 Hemi. The 4-speed manual transmission made this car a joy to drive, with some tests rating the 440 at over 375 horsepower and the Hemi at 425 horsepower. Unfortunately, the 1971 model was criticized due to restrictions from eco-laws. 4th, 1968 Shelby Mustang GT 500 KR. The 1968 Shelby Cobra GT 500 KR was a mid-year model, based on the 1968 Shelby GT 500. Ford added Cobra to the Shelby nameplate to help usher in a new era of performance at the company. The Cobra name referenced the new 428 Cobra Jet V8 engine tucked under the custom fiberglass hood of the KR. This engine would once again put the Mustang at the front of the pack. The name King of the Road might have been the perfect choice for the world's most powerful Mustang, and it also gave Shelby the chance to steal some thunder from crosstown rival General Motors. He registered the name and designed a new badge for the Cobra jet-powered Mustang, calling it the GT 500 KR, and got Ford's King of the Road into the market before GM had the chance. The GT 500 KR resonates deeply with the classic muscle car community. These cars came not only with Ford's formidable 428 Cobra Jet V8 engine but also with an aggressive design and the racing pedigree of Shelby. Ford rated the Cobra at 335 horsepower, but in reality, it produced over 400 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. The KR model also featured modified suspension and was offered in both fastback and convertible versions. The Ford dealership sold 1,570 cars in 1968, including 1,053 fastback models and 517 convertible models. 3rd, 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454. The Chevy Chevelle saw 15 years of production from 1963 to 1978, but its golden era was the 1970s, with the SS 454 marking a proud achievement, heralding the rise of the muscle car. Mopar enthusiasts argue that 1970 was the greatest year for muscle cars, and many consider the 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 to be the best muscle car made that year. Chevrolet offered 2 versions of the car with 454 cubic-inch V8 engines, the LS5 producing 360 horsepower and the LS6 with a monstrous 450 horsepower. And it was the more powerful LS6 version, featuring a Holley 4-barrel carburetor, that put the Chevelle SS 454 on many people's list of the top 10 muscle cars of all time. It's considered one of the most powerful muscle cars ever built. An interesting fact is that Buick and the 1970 Chevelle SS are the only 2 muscle cars to share a roofline. Many other metal sheet parts are interchangeable between the 2 GM engines. A total of 4,475 Chevelle LS6 models were produced, with 137 currently registered in the National Chevelle LS6 Registry. 2nd, 1970 Mustang Boss 429. The development of this car was driven by an idea to challenge the mighty Chrysler 426 Hemi in the NASCAR Grand National Series. Ford decided to use the Mustang platform with a new engine design. The fresh 429 engine was considered the answer to Chrysler's dominating 426 Hemi. However, to use the engine on the NASCAR track, Ford first had to homologate a minimum number of engines into regular production cars, hence the birth of the street versions of the Boss 429 Mustang. Since Ford's drivetrain division was committed to other projects at the time, the development of the Boss 429 Mustang was handed over to a company called Car-Craft. To say there were significant hurdles to overcome would be an understatement. First, the 429 simply didn't fit in the engine bay because it was 2 inches wider. Instead of fitting the new engine into the mid-sized Torino, Ford dropped the monstrous new engine into the Mustang, creating the ultimate pony car. Lovingly nicknamed Boss 9, it is one of the most sought-after original cars in the classic car world. With limited production spanning only 2 years, an estimated total of 1,359 units were built. The Boss 9 was underrated at 375 horsepower but in reality produced over 500 horsepower. It was a true beast. The hoods of these monsters had to be altered just to fit the tank-sized engine underneath. The car was rumored to be capable of reaching speeds of up to 175 miles per hour, although no official claims have been proven due to its rarity and collectible value, making any owner reluctant to test it. First, 1969 Dodge Charger 500, 426 Hemi. When Chrysler introduced the new race Hemi engine in 1964, Mopar racers immediately dominated drag strips and NASCAR superspeedways. By the mid-1960s, new engines from Ford and General Motors began to erode the Hemi's advantage. To regain some competitive edge in sales in 1966, Dodge introduced the Charger, offering fans the new fastback craze, a complete package to harness the Hemi. The Charger 500 was introduced and named after the number required by NASCAR for certification in the competition. The original Charger 500 prototype was a 1968 Charger RT with a 426 Hemi engine and automatic transmission, featuring a Coke bottle body shape, a new recessed grille retaining the original hidden headlights, a swept roof with a recessed rear window, and a reworked tail. The result was one of the most beautiful Mopars of the decade, and sales shot up 6-fold compared to 1967. However, trouble was still lurking on NASCAR's oval tracks. The new Charger hit an aerodynamic wall in its pursuit of 200 miles per hour against its rivals. Designers got to work fixing the car's issues, focusing on aerodynamics to overcome drag issues by flattening the rear window to reduce rear end lift. Chrysler's race engineers prepared the car for the upcoming NASCAR season with a reinforced race Hemi, the most powerful in its class. Despite high expectations, it wasn't good enough to stop Ford from winning its 3rd consecutive NASCAR championship, and once again, the Charger didn't live up to its hopes. Nonetheless, the Charger remained a beauty and an iconic model. Most Charger 500s sold came equipped with the more affordable 440 Magnum engine paired with a TorqueFlite automatic transmission. Very few 500s were equipped with the Hemi engine due to its high price. Dodge produced a rare muscle car with just 392 models, of which only 67 were powered by the powerful 426 Hemi under the hood. If you're lucky enough to own one of the 67 Charger 500s produced with the 426 Hemi engine, you're sitting on a goldmine now. Thank you for watching. If you found it interesting, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel to catch more exciting videos.